Well, this is True News. I'm Rick Wiles. Just when you thought world news headlines could not become crazier, along comes President Donald Trump. Some days, I wish I could simply say on this newscast what I'm really thinking. I can't express some of my thoughts because, well, we're a Christian program and I need to maintain a proper decorum. If, however, I just let loose today and gave this show the title that's in my mind, three things would be in it: Donald Trump, bat dung, and crazy. Donald Trump went all the way into woo-woo world today. He is either possessed with a spirit of lunacy or he is publicly coming out as the son of perdition. Either way, it's downright scary. I can't believe I'm saying this today, but impeachment is too slow. Mr. Trump's comments today are the stuff that makes sane people read the 25th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. The craziness started with Mr. Trump saying that Americans who vote for Democrats are greatly disloyal to the state of Israel and the Jewish people. He didn't stop there. He doubled down today by calling himself the chosen one. He also implied that he is the king of Israel and the second coming of God. Mr. Trump has amended the definition of citizenship loyalty to the United States of America. He says it requires total allegiance to the Zionist state of Israel. He specifically addressed his inflammatory remarks toward American Jews who typically vote overwhelmingly for Democrats. Therefore, the President of the United States of America told American Jews that if they do not fully support the Zionist state of Israel and never question Israel's policies and actions, and if they vote for Democrats, they are not loyal citizens. This kind of talk is both un-American and dangerous demagoguery. Citizenship loyalty is not dependent on the political party you support. Neither is it dependent on them supporting the policies and actions of a foreign country. Imagine the outrage and uproar if Barack Obama told Asian Americans that their loyalty to America was proven by their votes for Democrats and their unquestioned allegiance to China or Saudi Arabia. I condemn President Trump's ridiculous demands that all Americans support the Zionist state of Israel to prove their loyalty to the United States of America. I also condemn his assertion that Jewish Americans must vote for Republicans and support Israel to prove that they are loyal Jews. Most American Jews are very liberal, and I disagree with them on most issues. I will always, however, defend their right to express their views. Unlike the political left, I do not support the suppression of free speech. On the issue of loyalty, I have a problem with hardcore Zionist Jews and hardcore Zionist Christians who demand dual loyalty to the United States and Israel. The truth is, most American Jews are not Zionists. They may express general support for the right of Israel to exist, but they have no personal interest in living there. They're quite happy living in the United States of America. Mr. Trump, however, is taking it to a new level. He equates unfailing support for Zionist Israel as the litmus test to prove your loyalty to America. He is also implying that American Jews are not loyal to their Jewishness if they do not support the state of Israel. Once again, imagine if Barack Obama told American blacks that they had to support a particular African nation to prove that they're loyal to their race. Mr. Trump's nonsense cannot be allowed to go unchallenged. His comments are ludicrous. This crazy talk is coming from the same mouth that recently said he wanted swift executions of people who commit hate crimes. Will Donald Trump define hate crimes that deserve capital punishment? Doc Burkhart has been closely following this astounding story throughout the day. Edward Zoll is with us to discuss and analyze Mr. Trump's comments. By the way, the seriousness of Mr. Trump's crazy remarks today compelled us to postpone the release of the rest of Edward's interview with former Congressman Pete McCloskey. We'll let you know later this week when those interviews are going to be available. Doc, Edward, this is not a laughing matter.
No, it's not.
This is serious stuff, because if it just stopped, it was bad enough with what Donald Trump said about a litmus test, loyalty to the United States and Israel, that you have to be loyal to the state of Israel. But it's gone beyond that. He's gone over into blasphemy.
Yes.
Serious blasphemy. So let's, for our audience, if you haven't been following this today, just hold on. You're going to see and hear some astounding, shocking things that happened today. We'll start with, as we just talked about, he made the accusations. He was aiming it at Omar Elan, saying that she is not, she's anti-Semitic, she's not a loyal American, she hates Israel. I mean, this is a guy, the President of the United States, who last week told the Prime Minister of Israel, do not permit 2 elected members of the United States House of Representatives to enter your country.
Yes.
Right.
I am the President of the United States, and I do not want those members of the U.S. Congress allowed to enter your nation. I've never heard of such a thing in my entire life, where a president has contacted a foreign head of state and said, block the entry of members of the U.S. Congress. Doc, it's unthinkable that it happened. And then, there was a lot of shenanigans on both sides.
Sure. Right.
They were both using it for headlines, points. Yes. But Donald Trump is the one who started it by saying these 2 congresswomen could not be in the state of Israel. Why? He said they hate Israel.
Well, yeah, and that's the key part, because the tone has increased now. It's stepped up a little bit. It wasn't just a matter that they were against policies and rules of law that might involve Israel. They hate Israel. They hate Jews. That's what he's saying now. And he's putting that tag on them specifically. We're talking about members of Congress that he is putting that tag on in public tweets.
Publicly elected officials. There were separations of government here. I mean, President Trump cannot call to, and it's not even an enemy nation. Let's say it was like Germany or Japan during World War II. No, Israel is considered an unofficial ally. We're asking an allied country to block the travel of elected U.S. representatives. It's unheard of. We'd be calling out if it was a Democratic president doing this to Republican congressmen.
I don't know if we put it on the screen yet. This is the still President Trump calls anti-Zionist Democrats anti-Semitic, and okay, so this was the tweet.
Right.
It was a tweet from yesterday. President Trump said, "Sorry, I don't buy Representative Tlaib's tears," referring to Rashida Tlaib. "I have watched her violence, craziness, and most importantly, words for far too long. Now tears? She hates Israel," President Trump tweeted, "and all Jewish people. She is an anti-Semite. She and her 3 friends are the new face of the Democratic Party. Live with it." Now he's referring to AOC, Representative Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, and Representative Ilhan Omar.
So what he's done by this tweet that he put out yesterday is he's saying, all right, Ilhan Omar and Representative Tlaib, they are the Democratic Party today. Therefore, the Democratic Party hates Israel, hates all Jews. And if you are Jewish, therefore, and you're supporting the Democratic Party, does that make you anti-Semitic, by the way? I mean,
well, if you follow his reason,
right?
His reasoning, yes, and so that now we're headed towards a hate crime,
right?
which then takes us towards his demand for
Swift execution.
Swift execution of people who commit hate crimes. By the way, Congresswoman Tlaib, it cannot be anti-Semitic because she is Semitic.
Right.
She's Palestinian. She's Semitic. She's more Semitic than the Ashkenazi Jews who took her property.
It doesn't get more authentic than that.
See,
It's propaganda.
it's propaganda. All right, you had European Ashkenazi Jews go to Palestine in the 1940s and using rifles and bombs and grenades stole the land from the Semitic Palestinian Arabs. They were the Semitic people.
Yes.
All right. And so now, in this Alice in Wonderland reality, so we have the Mad Hatter defining what anti-Semitism is. All right. I would say that the Ashkenazis who went to Palestine in the 1940s were the anti-Semitic people.
I agree with you.
I mean,